Hello and welcome to another episode of Bing Woodworking, the road from novice to pro in DIY and woodworking. This episode, we're going to focus on something that's been bothering me in my shop for a while. That is dust collection. I'm going to hook up a dust deputy for my shop vac and a dust right for my dust collector. Not only am I going to do that, I'm going to hook them up so that they are remote control. So my dust collection has been a problem in my shop for quite a while now. It's been on my list of things to do, and I'm finally getting around to it. I invested in this dust right and this dust deputy, and I'm starting out with the dust right, getting a few step down bits. Gonna make a hole so I can get my jigsaw in here. I found this 50-gallon drum on the back of my property that I bought last year, and I kept it around for just this occasion. So it's clean on the inside, don't have to worry about anything in there. It's got a decent lid, and, well, it's got some rust, but the price is right, so I'm going to take it. So the first step is cutting out these holes for the nozzles to sit in. They got 90-degree elbows. You want one to go facing one way, one to go facing the other, and, of course, you want an airtight seal. So I didn't have the patience to wait around and order a seal, those foam seals that you can get, so I'm using good old silicone. Just going to put it around the shoulder of the fitting here, goop it on there, and squeeze it tight. While I try to hold a lid so that there's a different angle for the camera. Yeah, didn't think this one all the way through. So anyhow, this one goes on there without a hitch. Time for the second one. Rinse and repeat. Simple. Since it's so simple, I'm going to speed up the already sped up footage. Instead of times 2, we'll do times 4 on here. I don't actually work this fast, only in my dreams. So this old drum, it came with one of these bands here, and I'm not going to replace it. I actually like it. Go and find a socket, and voila. This thing just cinches right up, and I'll just leave this socket sitting here on top of this drum because I'm rarely ever, as in never, using it. Just cleaning up the silicone here with the finger, and yeah, you don't have to use a glove, but hey, I don't want to wash my hands, so yeah, I'm going to use a glove. Then it's just a simple matter of hooking up the hoses with the clamps and trying to figure out some way to show the camera that this thing works, and it does. So now, on to the dust deputy. What are these? Instructions? Pfft, I don't think so. Actually, they're not instructions anyways. So, yeah. Don't need those, and here's what I would do if they were instructions. Time to wing it. Alright, there's the center point. I know it's a center point because it's got a little white dot where the factory made the center point on the lid. Center the ring on that, draw a circle. Hey, I think I've got this. This is easier than I thought. I don't even need a friend, or family member, or helper. Wow, this is great. Okay, so if I found the center point, why am I using a ruler to try to find the center point? Oh, crap. That's right, because I need to know the radius so that I can draw a circle for some reinforcement. So the thing is with this lid, I think it's too flimsy just to mount straight on there. So I'm going to use a piece of 1/2-inch ply and reinforce it. I'm just going to glue it down with some silicone after I spend way too much time cutting it out, trying to make it look pretty with my jigsaw. So my jigsaw had blue tape on there from a previous project, and that was to protect the surface that I was sawing on. Is it needed here? Definitely not. But I just chose not to take it off. Don't ask me why. I honestly don't have a good answer. Now I'm just going to sand it, get rid of these rough edges. Not really trying to make it pretty. I'm not going to put a finish on it, nothing like that. I mean, this thing is basically the lid to a trash can. So, yeah, I'm not going to overthink it. I promise myself that I wouldn't overthink it. But then I had to sand the middle, and I had to come up with something ingenious, which, hey, I found something ingenious. Alright, so I just put some sandpaper on a half-used paper towel roll. And you know what? It worked really, really good. Now it's time to put down a very small bead of silicone on this to glue it to the lid. Now it's real important that you use a very detailed, minute bead of silicone on here. You do not want to use a lot. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I forgot. It doesn't matter. Goop it on there. Hey, it's the lid of a trash can. So yeah, there it is. Alright, before I forget, it's time to go ahead and cut out a hole for the lid of a trash can, basically. Yeah, so cut this out, and then we can be real careful with that silicone glue on. Oh, hey, no, forgot. Got to use this ingenious trick again. Alright, so, yep, that's not going anywhere. Now that I've added reinforcement, it's time to go ahead and line up for the bolts. A quick draw of the circles, and I'll be looking for my drill here in a minute, because I don't put it back where it's supposed to go, and I have to walk around my shop 3 times because I've already seen it twice and just passed right by it, because that's what I do. And just because I want to make sure that it's halfway presentable and doesn't have any splinters or anything like that, I go ahead and sand it for a little bit, line up the bolt holes, and now I'm about to encounter my first real problem. So the hardware that's sent with this, yeah, good camera angle, Doug, does not fit all the way through the plywood plus the lid. But you know what? I make a ton of tables, and I've got a ton of table hardware. Enter these long table bolts that I also happen to have nuts for. So that was convenient. I don't think I even had to make a run to the hardware store, and that's always aggravating, because if you make one, you know, it's like breaking the seal. You're going to have to make 2, 3, 4 later. And a little test fit. I think I'm kind of proud of it. Yeah, I think it's going to work. So I've got 2 shop vacs in my shop, and I've chose the most scientific way that I could possibly think of to figure out which one has the most negative pressure, i.e. suction. And after trying to lift my hand off of them, I figured out, yep, it's this one. Very scientific. So that's the one I'm hooking up to my dust deputy. And here you can see it. I have crawled under my table saw looking for a treasure trove of dust to suck up into it. And now you can actually see it spiraling around and going through the dust deputy. And that's literally what it looks for. So before I did this, I emptied out my shop vac, put in a brand new filter so I can see how much goes past this dust deputy and into my shop vac. Because the whole point of doing this is I'm sick and tired of changing out the filters in my shop vac. So here's the test. This is the container that has the dust deputy on it. And hey, full disclosure right now, this container kind of collapses a little bit under the suction. So this is the one everybody recommended online and on Amazon. I might be trying to upgrade it or reinforce it. So now you can see the inside of the shop vac. You can see the filter. There's a little that gets past it. That's to be expected. The extremely fine dust is going to get past it. But as you can see, 95, 98% probably is inside the dust deputy. So watch for the light on the wall next to the plug. That is the remote control that you plug it into. I'll leave a link in the description for these remote controls. One remote control can control 3 different plug-ins. It's a thing of beauty. It's awesome. I love it. So I still need to pipe the dust collection and do plenty of upgrades, but this is a start that I have long needed.